won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, yeah. I'm so handsome. All in Carmine's with my Benz, ooh, I'm so fancy. No romancing. Got my baby and she right, she make you vanish. No time to play, got book dates. Had a plan, only had to wait. Always knew I'd make a way. Send a bill, they send a pay. Keep it real, keep the record straight. Keep it real, no time to fake. All authentic in my own lane. I am me till I'm in the grave. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, ooh, never panic. Get a worry, send it up and then advantage. Yeah, I can't stand it. Out of all the way you move and see you scrambling. On offense, no defense. Still strong, no weakness. Used to say I wouldn't beat this. Now they wish they could beat this. Table set, now tables turn. God's plan, don't say a word. Know the price, cause I know my worth. My time, get what I deserve. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. This is Jeremiah's JMan Monero. JMan Speaks, coming to you live, multicasting on the IG as well as the YT. I just love initials, you know what I'm saying? Again, we're with 18 Friday. Ask the Experts Anything Meaningful Friday. Trying to get two phones set up here while I'm talking to you live. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the Instagram world today, as well as we already have a question from somebody in our virtual audience on the IG. Question here from Tiffany Bechtold, realtor in Ithaca, New York. Ithaca is gorgeous, okay? So question from Tiffany is, how to fire a buyer? How to fire a buyer. So I like that question. It could be how to fire. I'll do how to fire a buyer, and then how to fire a seller. So let's start with first things first. Why do you want to fire the buyer? Are they unrealistic? Are they disrespectful? Are they just not great buyers to begin with? Let's start with that. If they're a little bit frustrated with the market, or maybe they're unrealistic with their expectations of the market, sometimes you kind of have to ask yourself, what did I do? Reevaluate the processes in which you sat down, you talk to them about the market, everything that was going on, and say, did I do anything wrong? Sometimes you didn't, right? Most of the time you didn't. Sometimes there's just unreasonable people with unrealistic expectations. And so in the past, I've made it about me. I said, it's not, it's like George Costanza. It's like, it's not you, it's me. Maybe we're just not the best fit for people to work together. So what I'm going to do is free you up to work with another realtor, either with, Tiffany, I would try to get a referral out of it. Say I can refer you to an agent in my office if you'd like, or here's some great agents in other offices that you could work with. I have 100% referred people to people in other offices if I felt like they were the best fit, or that was a person who specialized in that area or that segment of the market, right? If I knew somebody that was really good at commercial in my area and they're not in my company, I'm going to refer the best person, right? If I refer outside the area, same thing. Good example is Tiffany and I are within the same franchise, but not the same company, right? So if you don't have, even if it's not within your franchise locally, just refer the best person. I have had sellers. I think firing a seller is a little bit more challenging, and obviously with a seller's market, we shouldn't have to do that. But I can say I went on a listing appointment the other day, and the house wasn't in its best condition, and they thought, oh, well, let's just put it on the market. Yeah, we're in a seller's market, but that doesn't mean we could put anything on the market at any price and it's going to sell, right? I think part of what you bring to the table, your brand and what you do differently, is preparing these sellers to put their homes on the market, right? You say, this is what we should do. Here are some things, because now you have a certain product, right? We're selling homes, but if you were selling a car, if you were selling widgets, right? You want that widget to look the best that it can, because that's something that you're selling because you've prepared that seller. So I would, I've had sellers, and again, in a balanced market, I had one seller that every time an offer came in, every single time an offer came in, she'd want to renegotiate my commission, right? And I'm going to say, I'll start with saying this, there is no standard commission in any state. All commissions are negotiable. Do you agree? Nod your head. Yes. Okay, great. Every time an offer came in, she'd be like, I'll take the offer if you're willing to reduce your fee for service down to X. And I'd be like, that's weird, because our time to negotiate commission was when we took the listing, right? This is now a negotiation between you and the potential buyer. So if you'd like to get X amount more money, then we could do that. But every time it came in, by the third time, I was like, Mrs. Seller, I'm going to have to free you up to work with an agent who is more willing to negotiate their fee for service than providing exceptional service and exceeding your expectations. And she was like, what do you mean you can't do that? And I was like, yeah, I can. I just did. She begrudgingly signed the withdrawal form. So I think if you're going to fire a buyer, Tiffany, just have a candid conversation. Keep it cordial. Be nice about it. Make it, it's more about you, and maybe you want to free them up to work with somebody that can really meet the needs or their expectations that they're looking for. And send a referral. right? Because you don't want that person out there in the market going, can you believe this person fired me? And this, just be nice. Just be nice. You're going to fire them. Just be nice. So what else we got here? We got, hey, Pierre, what's up, homie? We got Marie, good morning, good morning. Paul Rossi, my buddy. Eden, good to see you. Well, not see you, but hey, thanks for making that video the other day. What other questions might we have? I thought we might talk about Instagram Reels. Reels, okay? Because if I don't get questions from you guys, I'll just cut this short real early. But yeah, Tiffany, you're always nice. I understand. Are you? Yeah, you are. You are always nice. And so, Instagram Reels. If you didn't see the update, I want to say mine, it was like Christmas morning. Sometimes you wake up and your app is updated and you're like, oh my gosh, what are these new features? It's yesterday morning, I get up early. I'm up about 5 and I'm on my way to the park where I run and work out and stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Instagram Reels. What is this all about? And then I'm like, oh my. And so for those of you who are still catching up, Instagram Reels is Instagram's new update where you can post video content up to 15 seconds, okay? You can use audio that Instagram provides, royalty-free, or you can use audio from other creators. Sound familiar so far? There's also effects. There's also text. All of these features are very similar to a program called Rhymes with Micmac, right? If you're on there, you get it. And so I think they're preparing themselves. If TikTok does get banned in the United States, if you don't remember a time before Instagram had stories, there was this app called Snapchat that people were like, hey, I'm doing this on my story on Snapchat. Nobody else has stories. Instagram copied it, and now look where the story features is at. They really I think they took a big bite out of Snapchat's market share when they did that, and I think they're going to do the same here with TikTok, right? You have so many creators, people who are creating content, and they would go to TikTok, make something, and then export it out. I do it every once in a while because, I get like 100 people following me on TikTok, and a few of them are my relatives. So it's like I'm not getting the kind of engagement, and the algorithms, I don't think anybody can figure it out. It's not in order. It's not in the order of how you uploaded stuff. It's so random. But people are just in there building content. So I think the play for me, I'm not even exaggerating. If you go to my Instagram page, which you're watching this now on the live feed, but on the Instagram page, you should have 3 sections. You should have the story section, you should have the feed section, and now there's a Reels section. The big difference now is that the Reels section is discoverable in the Explore section of Instagram. You maybe some of you never use it, but you go to the Explore section, and then you could see other content that people are posting to their Reels. So let's say I posted, we did a parody called Get Sold. Get sold, get sold, get sold. I posted a 15-second clip of that. You could take that reel, watch it, like it, hopefully, and then you can hit use audio. So you could use the audio from my reel and recreate it. You could lip sing it. You could dance to it. So it's why TikTok is really kind of so popular, because you can use other people's skits. You can lip sync. You can do other things with other people's audio. So you don't necessarily have to create the content. You're recreating the content. So it helps people who may not be that funny. Maybe you're not that creative. You're like, hey, this is funny. Other people think it's funny. So why don't I recreate it? Why don't I, do something similar? And so I think that's the play right now. Let's see what happens with it, because if TikTok goes away, or if it gets banned and you have content in there, who knows if you'll have access to it. I don't know how that's going to work. I've never dealt with any app being banned ever in my life. So I would say download some of your favorite videos from there, because there are still really funny videos that I think are funny, and some other my friends may think they're funny, but they get no play. They get no engagement whatsoever on the TikTok. But I bring them over to Instagram. I bring them over to Facebook. I had one where AJ was impersonating a nail salon technician. That had like 3,000 views on Facebook, right? I had like 25 on TikTok. So it's not, sometimes the algorithm just doesn't get it. So I think it's going to be a game changer. So if I were you, hey, Michelle, how are you? If I were you and you have content that you're creating on Instagram, like try the Reels feature. You can still post your Reels and add it to your feed. I'm not doing that right now because I just want to see. I'm like I'm not exaggerating. I probably uploaded 12 videos last night that I had just sitting in my phone, either stuff from TikTok or videos that I downloaded and never did anything with. I put up a couple, like 2 or 3 videos from our last Social Ninja Media Summit, the in-person one, just fun, like behind the scenes stuff. And then I put a couple ninja videos that I had on there, because if I'm a social ninja, then I'm also a ninja, right? I'm social and I'm a ninja. So I put some ninja videos where, doing some ninja obstacles and stuff. Those are kind of cool. And then just like motivational stuff that's like fun and outside the box, because if you want people to follow you in the explore section, it can't just be you. It's okay. You got 15 seconds. So you can't be like, hey, hey everybody, if you're thinking about, thank you, Tiffany. Have you seen all the videos that we've made though? But if you're going to go on, don't be too much of a real estate person. Like, hey everybody, when you're thinking about, first step in buying a home is call me. Don't worry about the rest of the steps. It's 15 seconds, right? Give me something. Give me a good nugget. If you had 5 tips on how to sell my home, then give me 1 tip at a time in 15 seconds or less with a high energy comedic delivery, right? Think of like a funny spin on it. Hey folks, you don't have to get pre-approved, but guess what? You can sleep on that house. You may sleep on it, but you won't sleep in it, right? You can't wait sometimes to go from pre-qualification to pre-approval. We want to position you for success. And, take it from there. Do something like that. All right, do we have any other questions? Tiffany's still watching. What do we have on the YouTube? If you're watching on YouTube, please type in the comments any questions you may have. We can bring those comments up on the screen so you can be featured as a commenter and, become more popular, at least in the very small circle in which I ride. All right, 9:54. We got about 6 more minutes. I wanted to go till 10 o'clock. What else can I talk about today? Multiple offers. Many of you are in multiple offer situations anywhere on the planet Earth. I believe if you're in real estate, you're going to see that. So I think step 1 is giving realistic expectations to your clients and telling them. I'm going to change this screen over here. And telling them like, hey, we're going to write a dozen offers. Maybe it's 3. Tell them you're going to write a dozen. Why is that? Tell me why. Because you're under-promising and over-delivering. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to get this so I can put it on. There we go. Is that better? Multitasking is so much fun. Sorry. I'm easily distracted, folks, as you know. So, George, we're talking about Let's Ask the Experts Anything Friday, and we're talking about multiple offers, right? So preparing your clients for multiple offers, depending on where you are, you need to really evaluate their position. Do they have a grant that they're trying to get? Do they have, if they need concessions in this kind of a market, it's not going to happen. They need to talk to a relative. They need to, see what they can do to get some kind of forgivable loan, or is there something else out there where they're not waiting on grant money, they're not waiting on concessions? How can you sharpen the pencil for them to help them achieve the American dream of homeownership? And so for me, that's the first conversation. All right, what are we doing with the financing? Are you pre-qualified? Yes. Have you been pre-approved? What's that? That means you go back to the bank. You give them everything that they need. They verify your employment. They verify your income. You basically have, they submit that to the automated underwriters. you basically are pre-committed. And I don't mean pre-committed for being crazy, because we should all be pre-committed. But you're pre-committed for the mortgage. All they need you to do is find a property and get an appraisal done. That puts you in a much stronger position, right? Or the other side of it is, hey, do they have a relative? I've had some first-time home buyers go to their parents and say, Mom, Dad, I know you love me. Will you please give me cash to buy the house? And hey, if they're living in the basement, if they're affecting the quality of life for their parents, some parents will be like, yo, here's some cash money, okay? Or a friend or a relative. It doesn't have to be their parents. Can somebody give them the cash to purchase a home, number one? And then you could demonstrate to that person, like, hey, here's a promissory note. We already pre-approved for them to do a cash-out refinance right after they close and give you your money within a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever that is. Okay, maybe they plan to make a little bit of improvements, improve it, bring up the value, give them more cash, and put a little more cash in their pocket. There's a lot of different opportunities out there. You just have to be creative, right? You have to be creative, and you have to give your clients realistic expectations and keep their head up. You know, I always tell them, like, look, hey, it wasn't meant to be, right? You bust out all the cliches. Wasn't meant to be. The right property will come along. And, you know, if they're frustrated and they can't really find what they're looking for, I would say, you know, can we modify some of your criteria in some way? Maybe they were looking in a certain part of your city or your town, and there's just no inventory. Okay, where can we be within the county that might have similar amenities or school district that you might be looking for? And you know, you have to seek the opportunities. Every day we're scouring the internet for sale by owners. We're also looking at expired listings. Not expired recently, because that's next to nothing. If something expired right now, there must be something wrong with it, or the seller themselves. But look for the opportunities. Was there an expired listing from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right? Go to your MLS. Put the expiry date as far back as it can go, and then double check to see if that property was relisted and or sold, because that person had at that time the need or the want to sell their home. It's a different market. They can realize much more money than they would have back then. Much more. I would say at any if it was 3 years ago, you'd probably be looking at 10 to 50% more on the net on the sale of your home, depending on what your median sale price is. That's a big range, because it depends. The last opportunity that I want to talk about before I go off the air here is the opportunity for what we would call multi-use properties. Okay, there's a couple trends and challenges and just problems, right, that we're gonna see now and in the future. First of all, depending on where you are, or just about anywhere, unemployment insurance ran out at the end of last month. Okay. So there were some people who were able to pay their bills, were able to do things, who may not be able to. So we're going to see what happens with that. But you also have these small businesses, and I don't mean like the JCPenney's or the big box stores. I'm talking about the mom and pop, locally owned businesses that rent a space in the strip mall, and it's a multi-use property where you might have, apartments on the top with like a storefront on the bottom. Like, these are the lifeblood of any community, and drive around. They're going out or have gone out of business because a lot of them could not sustain the kind of losses that happened during the pandemic. And then if they were in an underserved area or a depressed area where there might have been riots or something like that, forget it. They're done. They're not coming back, right? And so there's opportunities there. I think you're going to see some of those storefronts be converted to residential properties, right? You have a person who owns a property who has 2 apartments up top or 3 or 4 up top, and then might have 1 or 2 storefronts on the bottom. How can we convert this and make nice apartments, right? Because we have a need for people to live owner-occupied or have a place to live, depending on where you are in the country. Why not convert those units? Because those sitting vacant is part of what depresses an area or a neighborhood, right? It's the broken window theory where, somebody breaks a window on this property, then they're like, this dump, and who cares? And then the other things start getting broken, and then the sidewalk isn't being kept up, and then the grass isn't cut because nobody's taking pride in their community. But if you have viable businesses in there, You have multi-use properties that are converted. All of these things are opportunities because who's chasing after a multi-use property or mixed-use property? Nobody, right? I talk to my friends in the commercial sector. They're not as busy. And so there's opportunity there. Maybe you could buy that building. You know, you have a first-time home buyer. Hey, let's buy this 4-unit, 6-unit property, make an apartment for myself in the storefront, and then rent out the other units, or take one of the units and, you know, convert the storefronts and rent those out to somebody else. Now you have a property for a first-time home buyer. They can live there rent-free, save their money until the market rights itself, whatever needs to happen there. And, yeah, thank you, George. So I got a comment from Instagram with George Rosario, 87% commercial vacancy rate right now in some New York City neighborhoods. 87%, man. Thank you for sharing that, George. So, like, there's opportunities there. Why don't you go in your MLS and look at, you should have commercial or mixed-use properties or more than 4-unit properties that nobody's chasing after, right? You got to find out where the pack is going. Zig when others are zagging. See the opportunities. And like my clients know me, like, look at, if we're going to work together, I'm not leaving any stone unturned. We're going to talk about every opportunity because, like, I am, you know, my tagline is your real estate superhero. I don't know if I have my logos in the other room, but I have it on my shirt. You're a real estate superhero because I strongly believe in that, hey, I'm going to help you. We're going to find a way. We're going to find a way because I'm going to explore every avenue to help you achieve the American dream of homeownership. So that's Ask the Experts Anything Friday. I'll give you guys, I'm showing you my TV over here. Here's my setup of everything that's been going on. I'm going to go back like this. So if you have any other questions, wait, let me move you over here so you don't see the bar of the microphone. Tiffany, see you later. You go off and crush it. Everybody else who might be watching this, whether you're watching live or on the playback, A-Team Friday, Ask the Experts Anything Meaningful Friday. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching the playback. Please subscribe if you're on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notifications. If you're on Instagram, hey, check out some of my reels. Use some of the audio. Let's have fun with this because it's a new feature that it's outside the box. And I think, you know, if you want to stick out in a really cluttered social media world, the key is to always be outside the box. So, Jeremiah's JMan Monero, JMan Speaks. Make it a great day. Thank you very much. And over there, and over here.